Hello, everyone, and welcome to part 19 of the Tiny Wonderland. Before we get started, I want to say hello to a very special subscriber and friend, Amber. Not my social media manager, but another Amber, very talented young lady from Nebraska. Because of confidentiality purposes, I'm going to leave it at that, but I just want to say that having her around and the things that she does is top notch, and I'm glad to know that she's out there. So Amber, thank you for following along, and all of you, also you 11 subscribers, you ooey gooey 11, yes, that's right. We haven't exactly launched, but that isn't going to stop us from telling the story, is it? So we're telling the story to you as it took place, and we do thank you for coming along. So let's get started with part 19, because of part 18, I know it's been a while, I know it's been a long while. And real quick before we get started, I just want to apologize. A lot of things have happened to me, and we will be talking about it in later episodes. Some of it really good, some of it not so good. But one of the things about life and true freedom and having the Lord on your side is that, you know, we take the good and the bad, and we try to do what we can in life to make a difference. So with that being said, let's get started on part 19. And I think this episode we're going to do up downs. Now, of course, I know you guys don't know what that means, but that's what we're going to call it. So, actually, you know what? I'm going to back up one real quick here if I can. Yep. Oh, I can't. It doesn't let me back up, does it? That's the weirdest thing. It won't let me back up. Oh, it does let me back up. Okay. You guys are seeing something that I wasn't aware of, so we're going to just try that. Okay, first up, we had found the lair. Now, it was owned by Ace Storage in Cedar City, and it was absolutely filthy from its previous clients. And you'll see some video clips on YouTube as I post them. I know that video has been slow getting out there, but been trying to come up with a solution for the proper video layout for that. So we'll get to that. But I was able to clean it under Heather's supervision from head to toe. And believe me when I tell you, it only looked this good the day that we moved in and the day that we left. This is us back at the Abbey Inn, me on the computer late at night. There was going to be many late nights, and there you go. You see me this is probably at a Denny's across the street from the hotel. Once again, looking on the phone, exploring things. You'll notice in a lot of the pictures and videos that you're going to see over the next few episodes that I'm not holding a giant iPhone like a technician or a movie director would have. I'm actually holding a very cheap Android. And the reason why is because I was so strung out and so tired during the building of the Tiny Wanderer that I actually left my iPhone on top of the car when we were going down the interstate at 80 miles an hour. Needless to say, the iPhone was completely destroyed. I did immediately replace it, and a week later had a brand new iPhone. But that iPhone would stay in the hotel room closet until the Tiny Wanderer was complete, because I kept breaking phones on, I'd smash them if I was frustrated, or I would run them over with a skill saw or step on them or leave them on the roof like the others. So I was going through like $20 Android phones pretty much all summer. Speaking of being stressed, Heather was always good about having me relax. This place became known as our relaxing spot. Doesn't exist today due to the fact that the Forest Service dynamited the river upstream and it all washed away. But these are some beautiful pictures of a place. As you can see, there's me just after the first couple of days in, already just chilling. I found this old chair and I put it in the water, and view of the Utah sky. Me and Heather, we got some funny videos from this spot. It's about as relaxed as I was going to get on this trip. This is downtown Cedar City, Utah. It's a really cool, quaint little city. If you're ever down there, you got to check it out. It's kind of cool, but on the weekends it fills up with people from Vegas. They drive the side-by-sides, they drive the RVs, they drive the big trucks up, so it can get kind of noisy. It can get kind of out of control, but again, take the good with the bad. What I'm about to show you next is the first steps of the TW as it was being constructed. The man in the welding uniform is Robert Keown. Apologies, Robert, if I got your name wrong. He runs Utah Builders, and I'll tell you more about that business later, but he was the welder that we contacted when we were in Arizona, And here he is making the literal translations of what I asked for come true. And you're going to see there's the water tanks going in. There's some reinforcement of the roof beams and the wall beams. Up top, you can see the rack where the tent was going to go eventually, and the solar. I had Robert set up a really cool idea so we didn't have to crank the trailer hitch. If you remember in previous episodes, we showed what that looked like. Whenever we stopped, we had to crank it off the hitch. So Robert came up with an idea. I came up with an idea and Robert implemented it. This is the septic tank that we pulled out of the Sedona junkyard, the Arizona junkyard. And we were kind of trying to figure out what we're going to do about this thing because it was just hanging out in the middle of nowhere. Can't really tell you what this is. Probably another picture under the vehicle. Me back at the hotel room chilling out. Us exploring more parts for the TW. This was one of many notebooks that would be referred to as the quote Bible, which contained stuff like building plans, rudimentary drawings, pricing, quotes from different people we were going to be working with. One of many of the notebooks, ladies and gentlemen. I'll tell you more about those later. Here is Robert's work, and you can see how he has created lattice work with steel beams underneath the TW to hold the 65-gallon water tank and the 40-gallon septic tank. And here's another view of the pieces of that as they were working. And you can kind of see this is the rail where the septic tank slides in, and you can see it's at an angle so that when the septic went down the toilet, it would slide down at the bottom and then build up, so it's kind of curved. Here's another picture of that. There's me making some measurements, probably for the later for the hydraulic jacks that would go around it to stabilize it. Excellent picture of Robert's welding. This guy was an absolute welding genius. Here's another picture. That's the trailer hitch that would one day carry Little Coo, the motorcycle, and we'll talk more about that in another episode. This is them working on the frame. More work and weld in the shop. This is more work. Some of these are blurry, but that's our new pump. That would be the water pump that would run the sinks and the toilet and the showers and the TW. It still exists to this day. And that was at the storage unit where we were sizing up the floor. Looks like we're sizing up the toilet. First trip to Home Depot to kind of introduce ourselves. We became known as the Tiny House People. And these people, over 70 of them worked with us in different facets of the operation, exploring possible cabinets, looking at different cabinets with trim, without trim. Sometimes we sat or stared at things for hours trying to calculate if we could make it work. This is me introducing myself to a new member. I think I was looking at insulation, all very preliminary stuff, guys, but we were getting the ball rolling. Sunset over the hotel, courtesy of Heather. That's me on the phone with Lindsay, my ex-girlfriend who helped me survive my fall and also helped me rehabilitate with the help of Heather as well as others. Sunset at the Abbey Inn. You can see the trailer is not there because it's currently at Robert's. You can see Maggie, the SUV, and Little Coo, the motorcycle. Heather, an interesting thing about this trip, and you're going to see a lot of these personal pictures, guys. Try not to show you the ones with nudity because there were some of those. I'm not going to lie. Heather likes to take pictures of me sleeping, and usually by the time I slept during the day, I was absolutely exhausted, like beyond exhausted. So Heather would often catch me in different poses, passed out in the comfortable hotel room bed. And then it was just back to work. Here's Robert demonstrating one of the elements. There's the propane rack welded on. There's a picture of Robert's outside of Robert's place, which I would get to know a lot, and we would spend a lot of time there. That is the future TW, still known as the Ballena. Hadn't been christened for quite a while. This is Robert Keane and myself. It's slightly blurry, but you can see he is an amazing welder, and I'd like to call him a friend as well. I'm going to introduce you to another amazing man who helped shape the TW in just a little bit. This is the we'll call it the TW. At this point, it is a TW. Back from Roberts for the first stage of the process. This is me in there testing the strength of Roberts welding, and you can see there's the motorcycle carrier for Little Coo, and you can see the tanks are sitting in there, and the walls are reinforced, and the ceiling is reinforced. This looks like this is an introduction to a... We're not really supposed to give out the name of the store, which is kind of sad, but I will tell you this. We went to a plumbing store in Cedar City, and this is RJ. RJ isn't from Cedar City, and he certainly doesn't talk like a Mormon, but this man, we met him at the plumbing store, and we said, we're building a project. Can you come outside with us? He literally came out of the counter, went outside, stepped inside of the framework and started saying, okay, you're going to need this, you're going to need this, you're going to need one of these, you're going to need a few of these. And RJ was responsible for building the plumbing that exists in the TW today. Without RJ, another guy I would call a friend, we never could have done this. Here's some pieces on the counter as he was putting things together, showing us how we're going to make it. This is me discussing prices and ideas. Another shot of RJ explaining across the counter what's going to happen. This is back at the lair. Here we are sizing up the propane stove and sink that we pulled out of Shanti's. I believe it was Shanti's junk RV. We ended up not using this sink or this stove, as you will see later on, but we didn't know that in the beginning. Me just kind of... I think I'm just kind of daydreaming in the front of the storage unit, thinking about what's going to happen next. Heather helping putting a window. There's me with a new window. You can see we were slightly off in the dimensions where we were attempted to cut. And then finally, I'm going to show you guys up on the top of Cedar City, at the very top hill, there was a Mormon temple. Now, we are not Mormons, and we were not allowed to go in there, but we did go around it and photograph it, and it was very beautiful. And that's gonna do it for episode 19, guys. We've made it a long way. We've come all the way from the fall, the crazy assignment, making it to Utah, surviving Kanab, surviving the canyons, surviving Zion, finding the trailer, surviving Muddy Creek, surviving the ride to Cedar City, getting Danny set up with a trailer, us living out of the trailer, going to the Grand Tetons, Yellowstone, Montana, and driving all the way back to Cedar City, all the way down to Arizona, having a false start there, having a gun pulled on us, surviving all of that, making it all the way back to Utah and settling it in for the final time. And that's where we're at, guys. We're now settled in. We got the lair, we got Robert, we got RJ working on parts. We're piecing things together. In the next episode, we're going to get into the real nitty-gritty of exactly what made this thing come to life. So I thank you all for your support. Please check out the Instagram. There's over 150 posts on there. If you like what you see and you like the comments and the content, feel free to subscribe on Instagram. It's just Tiny Wanderland. We would love the support. You're obviously here at the YouTube channel. If you know anyone who's into tiny homes or likes adventurous stories or just crazy things that happen in life, go ahead. We do have a website coming soon. I hope to have the website launched in the next month, but please don't quote me on that. There's a lot of changes going on. For now, I wish you all well. I hope you're all safe as we start to see a light at the end of this pandemic. May God bless you, and I'll see you guys in part 20 of the Tiny Wanderland. Don't miss it, guys. You're going to love what's coming up next. See you soon.